Hello my YouTube friends! Today's video is sponsored by Edit Video IO. But you know what? I'll tell you more about that later. The last video of this series hopefully helped you solve the problems of editing up your live stream for release on your channel. If not, you could check this video out right here. But there is another step in the process that can help make your video content a lot better. And a lot easier for your editor too. It'll make more sense if I just show you what I mean. So you know what? Let's get to it! I think it's important to create some sort of narrative for the video you want to create. If you do this, it'll make it much easier to make everything make sense with the story when you're actually creating the video. It really does help to watch other content that does this well and take some notes. That should make it really easy to plan some segments of your live stream for repurposing in a video. And if you do this, then you don't have to change the whole stream. You could just make a few minor tweaks for those segments. The other option is to just stream as usual and try to create a narrative after the fact. It's not impossible, but it's probably a bit more difficult. Now that you have a plan, let me show you a game-changing tool that can make it easy for you to curate your live streams into usable content. It's called Switch Take, and there is a link in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. Now there is two different ways to do this. You can do it voice or you can do it through an app on your phone or on an iPad. First, I'm going to show you how to do it with voice. And to do that, you use voice commands. So when you're live, you would say things like switch cut in order to start a new segment. And then when that segment is over, you say switch good. Or if that segment is not something you want to keep, you just say switch cut again and it disregards it. But everything between switch cut and switch good is going to be put into the file that you send into your editing software. And this makes it really easy to sequence up all the switch cut and switch good sequences into one coherent thing. So if you're just looking for highlights, what I was doing is just after something interesting happens in my live stream, I would just say switch cut, switch good, and then I know that something right before that was something I wanted to save. So let me show you how that worked. So this is Switch Take, and you can see I have Switch Take Voice selected at the top. I'm just going to click Select Media Files, and then I'm going to select files. I'm going to go and select the live stream that I did. This was a 2 or 3 hour live stream, so it takes a little bit of time for it to go through the sequence, and what it's doing is it's looking for the instances where you said switch cut and switch good, and it's segmenting those sections out. Now once it's finished running, you see up here in the top right hand corner, you can select Premiere, DaVinci, or Final Cut to save these files out. Now I'm going to show you how to do this in Premiere, and later I'll show you how to do it in DaVinci as well. The process is basically the same. Once it's finished, you just click Build Sequence, and of course since I have Premiere selected, it's going to build my Premiere sequences, and it creates this little XML file. So I create a Premiere file that I want to do this editing in, and I just drag these right into the library. You can see down here in the library that it brings in the full file, and then it has this little project. So I can double click on that project, and essentially it opens up all the stuff that we did switch good and switch cut on. So if I zoom in here, you can see I have some segments at the beginning. But these little segments here that you can see right there, there's 2 of them. And that's where I just did switch cut and switch good. And those are the ones that I'm interested in. Those basically denote that that was at the end of a sequence where I said something or I did something or something was happening that I wanted to save. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this segment at the end, and I'm going to drag this out here. And I'm going to stretch out the beginning part and kind of just clip it up so that I take what I wanted from this. Now, if I just show the end part here, this is what Switch Take cut out. Switch cut, switch good. So there you go. That's what I did in order to trigger this little segment to get cut out. And then I just stretch out the beginning. I find the area that I wanted to clip out and I just clip it out, and there we go. I did 2 of these, and it makes it really easy for me to take each one of those, stretch the beginnings out, find the segments that I wanted, and make those the exact clips that I want. So I don't have to search through a 3 hour live stream. All I had to do was say switch cut, switch good. And then I know that the 5 minutes or 10-minute segment right before that was something that I wanted to clip out. It's that simple. And let's face it, your audience isn't really gonna notice. And if they do, and they say, what's that switch thing all about? You could say, well, it's so I can edit the video easier later. Not a big deal. Next, I'm gonna show you Switch Take Mobile. It's an app that works on your cell phone, an Android tablet, an iPhone tablet, doesn't really matter. You can download it for any one of those, and it gives you a lot more options other than just cutting out a segment. You can cut out specific types of segments like a blooper reel or highlights or whatever you want. So it is really cool for segmenting out your live streams. So to get started with Switch Take Mobile, you just open it up and you're gonna wanna put a session name up at the top. And these can't have any spaces, so I'll just call it Stream 1. And then I just click Start. It gives you a countdown. And of course, this is the countdown to when you're going to be recording. So if you're doing a recording or a live stream, you're gonna wanna press this so that as soon as we hit 0 or 1, you're going to wanna go ahead and start your live stream as well. So now the files will be totally synced up and we've started our stream. Now, if it's a little off, it's really not a big deal. It's pretty easy to find the right segments when you're editing this. And now we have all kinds of cool options here. So each one of these different options gives you the ability to do something with the previous segment or the segment that's recording. So if I swipe down, that means that segment is no good. If I swipe up, that means it's going to save that segment. We can go over here and tap and it will pause our segment. And then you just click it to unpause. That's not really a thing that I use a lot, but it does exist. It is a thing that you can use. You can also tap over here on the right-hand side to add markers. And if we click the little face button down to the right, you can see it adds a little red segment there. That is a blooper segment. It will be saved in a blooper reel. If we go down here to the more in the bottom right, the little 3 dots, and we click on that, we can go to new highlight. We can actually name a highlight, and then we can click on how long we want that highlight to be, and it will highlight it. You don't actually have to add a new name or anything like that. You can just click the 15-second or the 30-second, and it will add that in as a highlight. And then once you do that, you get this little menu down here in the bottom. We can actually click on this little icon here, and this brings up a new segment. And I find myself using this one quite a bit. I can just click on new segment, and it will create a new segment every time I click, and these will of course show up in the edits later. I use this in conjunction with going out to the main screen and just sliding down to eliminate a segment. This just gives you the ability to create so many different types of segments, and you're going to be able to really segment out your live stream in a way that makes it easy to put together the kind of video that you want. So once the stream is over, you just go ahead and click save at the top, and you just want to make note of that code at the bottom. In my case, it's TKY8JD. We're going to use that over in our software. So now on the computer, we're just going to switch over to Switch Take Mobile, and we're going to put that code in here, and we're going to click select media files, and we're going to select our downloaded live stream, and then it's just going to take a moment to go ahead and find everything it needs. Now over here on the left, we're going to drop this down and just make sure it's selecting the correct live stream. In our case, it was Stream 1, and we can build our sequences. And you'll notice, unlike the voice, we get a lot of different sequences here. We get highlights and segments and bloopers and all that stuff. So we just select those XML files and we drag them into Premiere, and it creates those sequences for us. All we have to do is double click on each sequence, and we will see all of the segments that we put in there, all of the markers, all of the highlights. The blooper one will have the blooper reel in it. The highlight one will have the highlight reel in it, and they're all parsed out in completely different segments, making it really easy to cut, remove, replace, or just sequence this up in the order that we want. Now, if we wanted to export this for DaVinci Resolve, we just select DaVinci in Switch Take, and then go ahead and click Build Sequences. And then once that's finished, we open up DaVinci and we create a project. And then in DaVinci, all we have to do is go up to File and Import and Timeline, and then we just browse to the location of those XML files and we select the XML file that we want, click open, and then we just make sure that all this information is correct, click OK, and it imports those individual segments for us. So here we can see the full one that has the highlights and the markers and everything parsed out. We can import the blooper reel and we can import the highlight reel separately so that everything can be completely parsed out just like it is in Premiere. It's a really cool tool. It is so useful. You're going to be able to put these sequences together and create awesome content. And once you have the rough cut sequence, it's really easy to pass it on to today's sponsor, Edit Video IO. With Edit Video IO, they take all the hard work out of creating your content. I use SwitchTake to create the segments from my streams, and then I can quickly record intros and closes to the video in OBS. And by the way, I use SwitchTake for that as well. Then, if I want to inject anything into the video to help the narrative, it's easy to record voiceovers or clips for that as well, and of course, I use SwitchTake for that. I usually put together a text file with the structure of the video and the file names so my editor knows what I'm looking for, and then I upload it to the raw footage folder and create my video request. Just a day later or so, I have a finished video to upload to YouTube whenever I want to publish it. They can also produce teasers for other platforms and closed caption files so your video will look and feel professional to your viewers. This is so easy, and now you recorded quality content that can generate new viewers interested in your live streams 24 hours a day, not just when you're live. You can click the link in the description below and get a free edit and see for yourself how easy it is to get started with Edit Video IO. With SwitchTake and Edit Video IO, you don't have to take on the overwhelming task of learning to edit recorded content. SwitchTake creates simple edits for your streams to pass along to an editor. Producing recorded content is by far the quickest way to grow your audience on your channel. This cuts the time and learning curve easily in half, and you get great results. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to learn more about how Edit Video IO works, check this video out and I show the entire process. Big thanks to the sponsors that support this channel. Their links are in the description below under the heading sponsors. I couldn't possibly do this without them or you, so thanks. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks that can help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Feyrer Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.